Hello and welcome to my channel. Now, have you ever heard people saying that aliens could be farming us? That these beings have been cultivating the Earth and its inhabitants for their benefit? If you haven't, hear this now.
What is this all about? What do people mean when they say that aliens could be farming us? They mean that the Earth and its inhabitants are essentially a resource cultivated by extraterrestrial beings for their benefit. This theory draws on various elements from science fiction, ancient mythology, and current unidentified flying objects or UFO lore to present a coherent but speculative narrative. At the heart of this theory is the idea that advanced extraterrestrial species, often referred to as aliens, have been involved in Earth's history for millennia. These beings allegedly possess superior technology and understanding of biological and spiritual processes compared to humans. You might be wondering, what are the origins of this theory or who proposed it? This conspiracy theory does not appear to have a single, clearly identified originator. Instead, it seems to have emerged from the confluence of various fringe beliefs, ancient mythological interpretations, and speculative claims that have circulated within certain subcultures over the past several decades. However, some of the key early proponents and popularizers of this conspiracy theory include: Number 1 is Zecharia Sitchin. Sitchin interpreted ancient Sumerian and Mesopotamian texts and proposed the idea of an extraterrestrial race called the Anunnaki, who genetically engineered humans to serve as a slave labor force on Earth. Number 2 is David Icke. Icke, a British conspiracy theorist, advanced the theory that the world is controlled by a group of shape-shifting reptilian humanoids. He linked them to the alien farm concept and the idea of humans being farmed for their energetic or spiritual resources. Number 3 is David Wilcock. Wilcock is an author and speaker who built upon the work of Sitchin and others. He claimed that humanity is part of a cosmic harvest orchestrated by advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. Number 4 is Erich von Däniken. Von Däniken is a Swiss author known for his ancient astronaut theories. His best-selling book, Chariots of the Gods, laid some of the groundwork for the alien farm conspiracy by suggesting that extraterrestrials had a significant influence on ancient human civilizations. While these individuals are not the only proponents of the alien farm theory, their works and ideas have been instrumental in shaping and propagating this particular conspiracy narrative within various fringe and alternative belief communities. Now, what are the key concepts, or how does the theory explain how aliens farm us? Number 1. Creation and genetic manipulation. Proponents hypothesize that aliens either created humans or significantly altered their genetic makeup. This manipulation is generated from ancient texts and mythologies, which some interpret as evidence of early extraterrestrial intervention. For example, the Sumerian tablets, particularly the Enuma Elish, describe the Anunnaki as deities believed to have created humans as a labor force through genetic manipulation. Also, the book of Genesis in the Bible mentions the Nephilim, offspring of sons of God and daughters of men, which are interpreted by some as alien hybrids. Additionally, Hindu texts like the Mahabharata and Ramayana contain references to gods and advanced beings like the Vimanas, which some theorists argue could be ancient accounts of alien technology and intervention. The aliens are said to have engineered humans to be productive, adaptable, and capable of spiritual or energetic outputs that they find valuable. Proponents illustrate this concept through various real-life phenomena. For example, they may point to humans' rapid technological advancement and adaptability in the Industrial Revolution and the digital age, where we swiftly transformed our societies and environments. In terms of spiritual or energetic outputs, proponents highlight practices that generate significant emotional and spiritual energy. These include meditation, prayer, and collective human experiences. Events like mass gatherings, religious ceremonies, and even large-scale concerts are cited as examples where humans produce high levels of collective energy and emotion. These activities, according to the theory, are valuable to extraterrestrials, who might harvest these energies for their own purposes. Such purposes include sustenance, power, or other needs. The second key concept used to explain this conspiracy theory is resource harvesting. Proponents hypothesize that aliens continually harvest resources from the Earth and its inhabitants. Unlike conventional farming, where crops are harvested for food, the resources in this theory are human emotions, energies, or even souls. Aliens might be harvesting these intangible resources for sustenance, power, or other unknown purposes. Real-life sources of these resources often cited include the intense emotional and spiritual energy generated during large-scale human events. For instance, massive sports events like the Olympics or the World Cup, where millions of people collectively experience heightened emotions, are potential sources of harvestable energy. Additionally, religious gatherings, such as the Hajj pilgrimage or massive prayer vigils, generate significant spiritual energy and collective consciousness, which proponents suggest might attract extraterrestrial interest. Similarly, emotional intensity during times of crisis, such as wars or natural disasters, where fear, hope, and desperation peak, are appropriate harvesting periods. Practices like meditation and energy healing, which focus on generating and manipulating human energy fields, are believed to produce specific energetic outputs that could be of interest to aliens. Some variations of the theory suggest that physical resources like minerals or biological matter are also harvested. An example of this is the mining of rare earth minerals, which are essential for modern technologies like smartphones, electric vehicles, and renewable energy systems. The rapid depletion of these finite resources on Earth has led some theorists to speculate that aliens may be siphoning them off for their own use. Similarly, the theory proposes that aliens could be harvesting biological resources, such as unique plant or animal species, for their own research or consumption. This could potentially explain the high rates of biodiversity loss and habitat destruction observed globally, which some proponents attribute to the systematic removal of these resources by extraterrestrial entities. While these ideas remain highly speculative, the inclusion of physical resource harvesting adds another layer of complexity to the conspiracy theory. The third concept used to explain how aliens could be farming us is surveillance and control. To maintain their farm, aliens supposedly monitor and influence human development and behavior. This could be through direct intervention or indirect means. Direct interventions could include alleged UFO abductions, where humans are said to be taken and subjected to medical procedures, such as the implantation of tracking devices. These abductions are proposed as a potential way for aliens to gather information about their crop and potentially manipulate the human population. Indirect means of control can be more subtle and far-reaching. Theorists suggest that aliens might influence political systems, instigating wars or conflicts to maximize emotional and spiritual energy harvests. The rise of authoritarian regimes, the proliferation of misinformation, and the increasing global tensions could all be viewed as evidence of this kind of indirect manipulation. Additionally, the theory proposes that aliens may shape cultural trends, promoting certain beliefs, values, and behaviors that serve their interests in maintaining a productive and docile human population. Overall, the appearance of UFOs and other unidentified aerial phenomena are often cited as evidence of the ongoing surveillance and control exercised by these extraterrestrial beings. The advanced nature of these technologies is seen as a demonstration of the aliens' superior capabilities, which they allegedly use to monitor and manage the human farm. The fourth concept that helps explain this conspiracy theory regards cyclic harvests. Proponents argue that the extraterrestrial entities behind this farm engage in cyclical harvests, timed to coincide with major historical events and catastrophes. The theory suggests that these aliens purposefully orchestrate or exploit significant occurrences, such as wars, plagues, and natural disasters, in order to maximize the yield of their crop, which represents the human population and the associated emotional, spiritual, and even physical resources. The idea behind these cyclical harvests is that during times of great upheaval, crisis, and collective human suffering, the levels of intense emotions,
heightened spiritual energy, and desperation experienced by the masses become more valuable to the alien farmers. They are theorized to harvest these intense energies and resources for their own sustenance, power, or other unknown purposes. The theory thus frames these cataclysmic events not as random occurrences. Instead, they are orchestrated phenomena designed to optimize the aliens' ability to extract the maximum yield from their human farm during these cyclical harvesting periods. Now, what arguments or evidence do the proponents use to support this theory? Number 1. Historical and mythological evidence. Proponents of this conspiracy theory draw upon various historical and mythological sources to support their claims of extraterrestrial intervention in human affairs. The theory argues that ancient texts and scriptures contain references to advanced beings, often described as deities or gods. These events can be interpreted as accounts of alien interactions with humans. For instance, the Sumerian tablets, particularly the Enuma Elish, describe the Anunnaki as deities who are believed to have created humans through genetic manipulation. Similarly, the Bible's book of Genesis mentions the Nephilim, offspring of sons of God and daughters of men, which some theorists interpret as evidence of ancient alien-human hybridization. Furthermore, Hindu epics like the Mahabharata and Ramayana are said to contain references to advanced technologies, which some theorists argue could be ancient accounts of alien aircraft and technology. These mythological and religious sources are used to construct a narrative of long-standing extraterrestrial involvement in human history. They provide a foundation for this theory. Proponents of the Earth is an alien farm conspiracy theory also cite modern-day unidentified flying objects phenomena as evidence to support their claims. Specifically, they point to reports of UFOs, alleged alien abductions, and alleged government cover-ups of extraterrestrial encounters as proof of ongoing extraterrestrial involvement with Earth and its inhabitants. Theorists argue that the continued appearance of unexplained aerial objects and the various testimonies and accounts of close encounters with purported alien entities demonstrate that these advanced extraterrestrial beings are still actively monitoring, interacting with, and potentially even controlling the human population. The alleged government attempts to conceal information about these incidents are seen as further evidence that the authorities are aware of the extraterrestrial presence and are working to suppress this knowledge from the public. One of the most well-known cases is that of Betty and Barney Hill, an American couple who reported being abducted by aliens in 1961. Under hypnosis, they described being taken aboard a craft, subjected to various medical examinations, and having what they believed to be a reproductive sample taken. This aligns with the theory's suggestion that aliens may be performing experiments and extracting resources from human subjects. Another prominent example is the case of Travis Walton, an American forestry worker who claimed to have been abducted by a UFO in 1975. Walton reported being taken aboard the craft and experiencing various procedures, including the feeling of having his life force or energy being drained from him, which resonates with the idea of humans being a resource for the aliens to harvest. Additionally, the case of Whitley Strieber, an American author who published the book Communion in 1987, detailing his alleged experiences of being abducted and subjected to intrusive medical procedures, is often referenced by theorists. Strieber's accounts of feeling a sense of his energy or consciousness being manipulated are seen as further evidence of the resource harvesting aspect of this theory. These and other similar testimonies from purported abductees provide the theoretical foundation for the idea that extraterrestrial beings are actively engaged in the extraction of human resources, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, to support this conspiracy theory. Proponents of this conspiracy theory also point to various technological and biological anomalies as evidence of extraterrestrial influence on human development and affairs. One area of focus is the appearance of unexplained technological advancements throughout history. Theorists may cite examples such as the construction of ancient megalithic structures, the existence of highly sophisticated ancient civilizations like the Sumerians, or the sudden emergence of transformative innovations in fields like mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. According to them, these developments cannot be fully accounted for by the conventional historical narratives. In the realm of biological anomalies, the theory points to instances of genetic mutations and unexplained healings as potential signs of alien intervention. One example that may be cited is the case of Kim Peek, a savant who was the inspiration for the character Raymond Babbitt in the film Rain Man. Peek was known for his prodigious memory and ability to quickly recall and recite vast amounts of information on a wide range of subjects, far exceeding the typical human cognitive capacities. Theorists may suggest that Peek's extraordinary abilities were the result of genetic manipulation or enhancement by extraterrestrial entities. Another individual who may be referenced is Wim Hof, also known as the Iceman, a Dutch extreme athlete and adventurer. Hof has demonstrated the ability to withstand extreme cold temperatures and control his autonomic nervous system, feats that defy conventional understanding of human physiology. Proponents of this theory may propose that Hof's exceptional physical abilities are the product of advanced alien technology or genetic engineering. In terms of rare medical conditions, the theory may point to the case of individuals with so-called self-healing abilities, where they appear to rapidly recover from severe injuries or illnesses that would typically be life-threatening. One such example is the case of Audrey Schoeman, a woman who survived severe hypothermia after being trapped in the snow for over 6 hours, with her body temperature dropping to just 18 degrees centigrade, equivalent to 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Theorists may suggest that this unexplained healing capacity could be attributed to the intervention of extraterrestrial entities and their advanced medical technologies. Another historical example that may be cited is the case of the Pima people of Arizona, whose genetic predisposition to type 2 diabetes has been the subject of much scientific interest. Theorists may argue that this unusual genetic trait could be the result of past alien experimentation or selective breeding, rather than a natural evolutionary process. By highlighting these exceptional individuals and rare medical conditions, proponents of this conspiracy theory aim to build a narrative that suggests the direct involvement of extraterrestrial entities in shaping and manipulating the human genome and physiology, potentially for their own purposes. What is more, this conspiracy theory often points to instances of spontaneous remission or miraculous healings as evidence of potential alien intervention in human biology and health. Here are 2 historical examples that may be referenced by proponents of this theory. Number 1. The case of Anita Moorjani. In 2006, Moorjani was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma and given just a few days to live. However, after a near-death experience, she made a remarkable recovery, and her cancer disappeared without any conventional medical treatment. Moorjani's case has been widely studied, as her recovery defied medical explanation and left doctors puzzled. Theorists may suggest that Moorjani's miraculous healing could be attributed to the intervention of advanced extraterrestrial technologies or healing methods. Number 2. The case of Lourdes miracles. The Catholic pilgrimage site of Lourdes in France is known for its numerous reports of miraculous healings, some of which are recognized by the Catholic Church as unexplained by modern medicine. One of the most famous cases is that of Bernadette Soubirous, who claimed to have experienced visions of the Virgin Mary in 1858 and the subsequent healing of many pilgrims who visited the site. Over the years, hundreds of cases of spontaneous remission and unexplained healings have been reported at Lourdes, with some individuals recovering from terminal illnesses or severe disabilities. Proponents of this theory may argue that these miraculous healings could be the result of extraterrestrial intervention, challenging the conventional medical and religious explanations. By highlighting these examples of spontaneous remission and miraculous healings, this conspiracy theory seeks to build a narrative that suggests the direct involvement of extraterrestrial entities in influencing and manipulating human biology and health, potentially for their own purposes or as part of a larger agenda. Lastly, proponents of this conspiracy theory
view the rapid pace of human evolution and technological progress as evidence of extraterrestrial intervention, arguing that such advancements are too advanced to be solely the result of natural processes. Theorists may point to the relatively sudden emergence of modern human traits and capabilities, such as the development of complex language, abstract reasoning, and advanced tool-making, as examples of an evolutionary trajectory that appears to have been accelerated beyond what would be expected through natural selection alone. Regarding complex language, theorists may highlight the remarkable complexity and structural sophistication of languages across the world, with intricate grammar, syntax, and semantic systems that allow for abstract and nuanced communication. The rapid emergence and diversification of human languages, which vastly outpaces the typical evolutionary timelines for the development of such complex communication systems, may be seen as evidence of extraterrestrial intervention. In terms of abstract reasoning, the theorists may point to the human capacity for advanced abstract reasoning, including the ability to engage in complex problem-solving, logical deduction, and conceptual thinking. The speed and sophistication with which humans have developed these higher-order cognitive faculties, which are not readily observed in other animal species, may be proposed as an anomaly that cannot be fully accounted for by natural evolutionary processes. Concerning advanced tool-making, the development of increasingly sophisticated tools and technologies by human civilizations is another area that may be cited by the conspiracy theorists. From the earliest stone tools to the complex machinery and digital technologies of the modern era, the rapid advancement and diversification of human tool-making capabilities are seen as being too rapid and transformative to be explained solely by gradual, incremental progress. These examples of complex language, abstract reasoning, and advanced tool-making found in modern human societies build a case that the overall trajectory of human evolution and technological progress has been significantly influenced, if not directed, by the intervention of extraterrestrial entities with superior knowledge and capabilities. Similarly, the rapid development of transformative technologies throughout human history, from the invention of the wheel and the discovery of agriculture to the advent of the Industrial Revolution and the digital age, is seen by some as a rate of progress that is too rapid to be accounted for by purely human ingenuity and innovation. Proponents of this theory may argue that the conventional timelines and explanations provided by mainstream science are insufficient to fully explain these dramatic leaps in human evolution and technological advancement. They may suggest that the involvement of extraterrestrial entities, with their superior knowledge and capabilities, has played a crucial role in guiding and enhancing the trajectory of human development. Despite the evidence provided by the proponents to support this theory, it has been criticized in equal measures. Number 1. Lack of empirical evidence. The primary criticisms leveled against the conspiracy theory that aliens could be farming us is the distinct lack of empirical, scientifically verifiable evidence to support its claims. Proponents of the theory often rely heavily on anecdotal accounts, interpretations of ancient texts and mythologies, and speculative extrapolations, rather than rigorous scientific investigation and experimentation. From the perspective of mainstream academia and the scientific community, many of the central tenets of this theory are considered to be pseudoscientific in nature, lacking the necessary rigor and objective data to be considered legitimate scientific hypotheses. The claims of ancient alien visitations, genetic manipulation of humanity, and the existence of complex extraterrestrial agricultural systems operating on a global scale are viewed by skeptics as highly improbable and unsupported by the weight of empirical evidence currently available. Without concrete, verifiable data that can be systematically analyzed and replicated, the alien farm theory remains firmly in the realm of speculation and fringe beliefs, unable to gain widespread acceptance within the scientific community. This lack of empirical validation is a significant weakness that has led many to dismiss the theory as unfounded and unworthy of serious consideration. Therefore, the theory requires a much higher burden of proof before it can be accepted as a plausible explanation for the origins and nature of human existence. Number 2. Psychological explanations. Skeptics of this conspiracy theory have pointed to psychological explanations as an alternative to the extraordinary claims made by its proponents. One key argument is that many of the purported experiences, including alien abduction accounts and unidentified flying object sightings, can be more plausibly explained by well-documented psychological phenomena. For instance, episodes of sleep paralysis, where individuals experience a sense of a malevolent presence or even hallucinations of alien-like figures, are often cited as a more likely explanation for some alien encounter claims. Similarly, the human brain's propensity for pattern matching and the susceptibility to cognitive biases may lead individuals to interpret ambiguous stimuli or experiences as evidence of extraterrestrial activity, even when more mundane explanations are available. Moreover, skeptics argue that the allure of such extraordinary conspiracy theories, like the alien farm hypothesis, may stem from a deep-seated human need to find exotic explanations for complex or unexplained events. This psychological tendency to seek out the sensational or the conspiratorial, rather than accepting the uncertainty or the mundane, can make the alien farm theory appealing to some individuals, despite the lack of robust empirical support. By grounding the analysis in established psychological principles, skeptics aim to provide more plausible and parsimonious accounts for the experiences and beliefs that fuel the alien farm conspiracy, without resorting to the extraordinary claims made by its proponents. Now, what are the implications of this conspiracy theory if it were true? Number 1. Human autonomy. If this conspiracy theory were true, it would have profound implications for our understanding of human autonomy and the degree to which we are self-determining beings. The core implication of this theory is that significant aspects of human existence have been manipulated and directed by extraterrestrial entities, rather than being the result of our own autonomous evolution and development. This questions the fundamental notion of human free will and self-determination. One specific example of compromised human autonomy would be the development of our cognitive and intellectual capabilities. If the rapid emergence of complex language, abstract reasoning, and advanced tool-making were indeed the result of extraterrestrial intervention, it would suggest that our ability to think, communicate, and create technology is not entirely our own, but rather a product of external influence and control. Similarly, the theory may also imply that our physical and biological characteristics have been shaped by alien intervention, challenging the idea that we are the sole architects of our own bodies and physiology. Cases of individuals with exceptional abilities or rare medical conditions that defy conventional understanding could be seen as evidence of direct genetic manipulation or the application of advanced healing technologies by extraterrestrial entities. Moreover, the theory may suggest that even our collective societal and cultural development has been guided by alien forces, with the rapid progress and diversification of human civilizations potentially being the result of external intervention, rather than emerging solely from our own autonomous decision-making and innovation. If true, this would profoundly affect how we view our place in the universe and the degree to which we can truly consider ourselves to be the masters of our own destiny. It would call into question the very foundations of human agency, autonomy, and self-determination, potentially leading to a radical re-evaluation of our understanding of our own existence and the nature of our relationship with any extraterrestrial entities that may have been involved in shaping the course of human history. Number 2. Spiritual and energetic dimensions. If this theory were true, it would indeed introduce a powerful metaphysical component that could challenge and reshape our understanding of human spiritual and energetic experiences. The depth and complexity of human feeling, from love and joy to sorrow and anguish, may be viewed as a form of energetic or spiritual sustenance that the aliens seek to extract or cultivate for their own purposes. Similarly, the powerful experiences associated with various spiritual and religious traditions, meditation, prayer, ritual, ecstatic